welcome to this week's episode of the COMO411, where our focus is the great outdoors. And our first guest joining us in studio is the owner of Meriwether Bike Shop and Cafe, Brad Landolt. Brad, welcome to the COMO411.
Thank you for having me, Adonica. It's a pleasure to be here.
Absolutely. We were excited to have you guys booked on the show for this. So tell me, I know you guys get a lot of traffic from the bike trail. That's a big part of what you guys do. Just tell me a little bit about what you do at Meriwether in case somebody's not familiar.
Yeah, absolutely. So Meriwether Cafe and Bike Shop's located in Rocheport, Missouri, right on the Katy Trail. We're right at the trailhead parking lot for the state park there. And we're a full service brunch and breakfast, brunch and lunch destination with a large patio. So we're really well known as an outdoor dining destination.
Yeah.
And we have also have a large fleet of rental bikes. And so we rent bikes for people to come out and do day trips and for day use on the Katy Trail.
Okay, so people can come out, they can rent a bike, and then they can do most people grab breakfast before they ride, or do they ride first and then eat?
We see it go both ways.
Okay.
Sometimes people need to work up an appetite and then come back and have lunch, but we do it either way.
Yeah, that would be me. That would be me. And from what I understand, you guys get people stopping through from not just locally riding, but
Oh yeah, absolutely. We serve a lot of people from all over the place. We are fortunate to be able to serve the local cycling community here in mid-Missouri, but we also see a lot of people from all over the country and even all over the world coming to Missouri as tourists to ride the Katy Trail, which is really unique in the rail trail community. It's the longest one in the nation. It's 237 miles long.
wow.
So it's a multi-day trip on the bike, and we're fortunate to be able to meet a lot of really interesting people, you know, that are coming through to enjoy that whole resource.
Yeah, absolutely. Are you a bike rider yourself?
I do enjoy riding the bike a little bit.
Have you ridden the whole Katy Trail yet?
I've ridden the whole Katy Trail, not all at one time, in bits and pieces. You know, as I can. My favorite section is from my house to work is 16.25 miles.
Really?
So it's not a commute that I can commit to making every day.
I was going to ask.
But one that I do like to make every now and again.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah.
That's fun. So I can come and I can rent a bike. And how easy is that process to rent a bike at Meriwether?
We try to make it really easy.
Okay.
It's all open-ended, so you just fill out a form and we send you on your way, and then whenever you get back, we settle up for however long you've been gone. It's a very simple process. Helmets are included. We have bikes to fit all ages and sizes of riders.
Okay, very good, very good. And can you tell me, like, do you have a story, like, what's the furthest you've heard somebody come from? Or who's your most interesting rider that you talked to that came off the trail?
I have met a number of people that were on really epic trips. One in particular was walking around the entire world. Obviously, you had to take a boat or a plane for certain sections of it. But it had taken him 7 years. He had started from somewhere on the East Coast. I can't remember where. And he was almost back. That was last summer. He was finishing his journey after walking, basically circumnavigating the globe on foot.
That's crazy. That took me by surprise. We hope he's made it. We hope he's made it back home. And how did you personally, is this a family business for you? How did you become involved with owning Meriwether?
Well, I have a background in food. I've done the restaurant business for a long time, and so then whenever I had an opportunity to kind of strike out on my own, that really appealed to me.
Yeah.
My grandfather and my father were both business owners, and so entrepreneurship kind of runs in my family, and I'm really excited to be able to do this. Yeah,
well, we're excited to have you. How long have you been in your location?
We've been Meriwether since 2017, but the history of the location is quite a bit longer. There's been a business kind of like Meriwether there since 1990.
Wow.
The Trailside Cafe and Bikes operated there from 1990 until 2015. And then we're proud to be able to continue on in that tradition with some changes. Of course.
Yes, yes. Well, we are very fortunate to have you as a local part of this community, not just for us in Como, but Rocheport, and apparently people around the world and the country get to stop into Meriwether and have some delicious pancakes. I know, burgers. Look, everything on your menu. You mentioned the Louisiana Purchase before we came on the air, so that's something people might want to try when they come in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the Louisiana Purchase, y'all. Don't forget that.
And we do the full menu all day, so we serve breakfast, brunch, and lunch food. But whether that means burgers in the morning or pancakes in the afternoon, we've got people covered.
Yeah, either way. Yeah. Thank you so much for joining us. It was a pleasure to have you.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure being here.
Thank you. Coming up next, more outdoors on the river this time with Missouri River Relief. Our next guest is Steve Schnarr with Missouri River Relief. Steve, welcome to the COMO411.
Super stoked to be here. Thank you.
We're super stoked to have you, Steve. Now, everybody has maybe a little bit of what Missouri River Relief is. I see it a lot, fundraisers for it. Tell me, what is Missouri River Relief?
Well, we are a small nonprofit based here in Columbia, Missouri, and our whole mission is about connecting people to the Missouri River. Mm-hmm. So we create and craft really cool, in-depth personal experiences for people on the river. We bring volunteers out to clean up the river, remove tons of trash from the river, education programs with students, adults, teachers, to learn about the river, incorporate the river, the Missouri River, into their classrooms, and also host races, canoe kayak races on the Missouri River, including the MR340, which is a big race from Kansas City to St. Charles that happens every summer.
Kansas City to St. Charles, you
That's
said.
right, 340 miles.
How long does that generally take?
Well, you have to finish in 85 hours or less, so less than 4 days, and goes all night long.
So
It's fun.
You're gonna have to do a little more to convince me it's fun. 85 hours
or less, yes,
or less. So if I come in at 86, I'm disqualified.
That's right. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'll be watching that.
Oh, it's cool. This year it's August 1st through 4th.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think it's August 2nd when they really start coming through the Columbia area.
Okay. All right. Well, I will be looking for those people. I'm sure people are posting all about that. I mean, that's an amazing feat.
It is.
So I'm going to back up a little bit. You said education for kids. I understand that our cameras caught you guys out with a bunch of children here recently.
Yeah. Last week we were down at Cooper's Landing, right on the river, and we hosted our Missouri River Days program, and that's in partnership with Columbia Public Schools.
Yes.
So our goal is every year we have a session in the spring and a session in the fall, and we get every single fourth grader out on the Missouri River, and they do other cool stuff too, like watercolor painting, take a hike through the river, learn about the floodplain forest, and then we have fisheries biologists from the university, Department of Conservation, and U.S. Geological Survey to teach about the stuff that lives in the river and like how scientists learn about those fish.
I see. Now, fourth grade, that seems like a very impressionable age.
Yeah.
Like if somebody gets out there, they're like, I kind of like this.
Yes.
How did you become involved with Missouri River Relief?
I actually grew up really close to the river in Chesterfield, Missouri, and had no connection whatsoever. I didn't even barely knew it existed.
Okay.
Moved away and came back and ended up living by the river. And a friend of mine took me paddling, canoeing on the river. And my mind was kind of blown. I just was like, this is huge. This is a big, wild, natural place just right here in the neighborhood. And it seemed like no one was out there, you know. So when I learned about the work that Missouri River Relief does, I just had to be involved.
Yeah, I understand. Now, you said you live by the river, not in a van, right?
Not in a van down by the river, no. I mean, occasionally, honestly.
You've never heard that before, have you, Steve?
Oh, I mean, brand new to me. What?
What are you even talking about, a van down by the river?
I'll be Googling that later, I guess.
Yes, Google it later. Steve, you are a delight. Thank you so much for joining us. Now we're going from the river to the lakes. Finger Lakes State Park, that is. We'll be right back. How many of you have taken a trip out to Finger Lakes State Park? I'm going to be the first person to admit that I have not been, but I'm learning a lot from our next guest, Debbie Newby. Debbie, thank you for joining us on the COMO411.
I'm glad to be here.
Good, I'm glad to have you. So Debbie, you are the superintendent of the park.
Yes.
Tell us what that means.
Well, I'm basically the manager. I'm responsible for staff. I have volunteers, I have full-time staff, I have seasonal workers that I manage, and we just take care of the park and make sure it's ready for people to come out and enjoy.
So you keep everything running smoothly.
Yes, yes, yes. It's fun. It's a good opportunity.
I'm sure it is. Okay, and tell me, I got to start here. How did you get involved? Are you an outdoor lover? Did you grow up in the parks? Like, how do you end up in this position?
I mean, I never thought I was going to be in this position, but I did grow up from inner city Little Rock, Arkansas.
Mm-hmm.
You know, these inner city programs, they take us out in the woods and teach us how to camp and fish and hike and different things like that. And I started that when I was, probably 6 years old.
Mm-hmm.
And I did that all the way through high school. Every summer I would go out. And so I went to college on an athletic scholarship.
Okay.
And so I started as a nursing major.
Okay.
Because my aunt was a nurse, and so she was very successful. So I wanted to be a nurse, but the program was super hard. So I had to think about what else I was going to do. So they offered this program called Recreation Administration. So that's what I majored in.
Okay.
And I thought I was going to be working at like a YMCA or some rec center, but it turned out that an opportunity came up. I had some friends that heard a recruiter that was with state parks. And so she told me about it and told me to contact him. And so this was such a long time ago. And so I met him at the public library, and he showed me how to do the application and apply for a job. And so I got a job at Rockbridge a couple of months later. So I started working at Rockbridge State Park, which is here in Columbia as well. And so I worked there for a few years, and then I transferred to Finger Lakes, and that's where I've been for the last 23 years.
23 years. So you must like it.
I love it. I love it.
You love it. And why do you love it? What is it about Finger Lakes that you love so much?
Well, I love the outdoors. I mean, I love being outside. I love nature. You know, God created such a beautiful environment.
Absolutely.
So, I just really enjoy just being outside. Some days I don't get to be outside because, sit in front of your computer and answer emails and stuff.
Yes.
But most of the time I enjoy getting outside. In my office I have two big windows, or I can look out the window if I am at my computer. But
And what kind of activities do you offer? Because I understand it's a wide variety of activities.
It's a very wide variety of activities. Our main activity is off-road riding. So that's what the park is originally created for, was off-road riding, where you can ride motorcycles and four-wheelers and side-by-sides. So that's what most of the people come out to do, just to ride their machines. But then we offer a whole lot of other things that you can do. We have a hiking trail where you can hike and then ride mountain bikes. And then we have this area called a pump track where you can take your bicycle and you can go over these obstacles. We have 12 obstacles so that you can take your mountain bike over, and then a pump track where you can pick up a lot of speed and go around this oval circle.
That sounds exciting.
Very, very popular.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
And so we have a campground. So typical campsites, people bring their RVs in and tents to camp there. So, and then here recently, our biggest and fastest growing activity is kayaking.
Okay.
So we rent canoes and kayaks. And so a lot of people come out there that haven't been to the park before. They come out there to kayak.
Okay.
So we rent the kayaks, we give you the jacket, the paddles, and send you off
Everything
to the
you
water.
need.
And then you can just paddle around the lakes.
And lessons, you said?
Yes, we do have a program called Learn to Paddle. And actually we have one this Saturday on May 6th. We have a class. And we teach you how to kayak. So
that would need to be in that class to learn how to kayak. But I have made a promise to myself and to you that I am going to get my butt out to Finger Lakes State Park and enjoy some of the things that it has to offer, because it sounds really, really amazing. And I'm sure my kids would love it. Yeah. I'm sure they would. Debbie, it was so good to sit and talk to you. Thank you for joining us.
You're welcome. You're always welcome in Missouri State Park. So come out and see us.
All right, we're coming out to the park. We'll be right back. So thank you so much for joining us on this week's episode of the COMO411, where don't even stop. Our focus is the great outdoors. We have learned a lot about rivers today. Visit Meriwether Bike Shop and Cafe out in Rocheport. Please get your butt, like me, out to Finger Lake State Park, because they have so much to offer and we need to take advantage of what our local community has. So get out with each other, with your community, with your friends, with your family, and enjoy the great outdoors. And we will see you next week. Peace out.